Yo guys, what's going on? You got Tiger here, your coach of the Carolina Panthers, bringing you our first round of the gold bracket for the Surge Tour for Summer Showdown. Now, you guys probably saw my first round where we beat Monotui to advance to the gold bracket. This round we're against Choice CJ, who did also win his Week 1 game, so this is cool playing two GBA coaches in a row. One obviously mainly, one D-League, so getting to see my fellow pals through all this. But anyways, his team consists of Linoon, Primarina, Steelix, Yuxi, Tornadus, Virizion, and then left on the bench. This is just off the top of my head. I believe Flareon has been left on the bench this game. And sorry, I can't remember the other one at all, honestly. Now, the way Surge works, if you guys didn't know, is we were able to make drops every round for basically better stuff. Every round you get like a little bit better stuff available to you, and you can make transactions for them. This round I did decide to do that. I was able to drop my Zoroark. Sorry, I was able to drop Venomoth and, what's the other one I dropped? I dropped a Venomoth and something else on my team that I'm completely blanking on. Venomoth and Serena for Zoroark and Heracross. Now, I definitely intend to not have this fighting spam on my team at some point with the Passimian and the Heracross, but for now it's pretty alright. I do have 4 leftover points, so I'm definitely planning on winning this game and using it in the next round, but this is going to be an obstacle because he does have the Linoon, which is a humongous fucking threat to my entire team. Primarina is also a really big threat. These 4 Mons, the Linoon, every offensive Mon on his team is a humongous threat to me, so I really have to be on the lookout for that. It's definitely not a great matchup for me, so I have to kind of pull out some whack tech. So we've got a sub Z Zoroark. I changed my Noivern from Z to Zoroark Z. Sub Acid Downpour Zoroark with Sludge Bomb, Dark Pulse, Focus Blast. We've got a Scarfed Empoleon, one of my 2 ways of trying to beat the Linoon, with Surf, Flash Cannon, Stealth Rocks, and Ice Beam. We've got Rotom Heat with Charty Berry with Volt Switch, Defog, Pain Split, and Overheat with enough speed to outspeed the Primarina. We've got Passimian, which I made what I'm pretty sure was bulky enough, because my calcs were kind of being weird. I'm pretty sure that the Passimian I made was bulky enough to take a +6 extreme speed at full, and maybe even after rocks, with close combat, Gunk Shot, U-Turn, and Rock Slide. Choice Scarf, I didn't already mention that, which I forgot if I did or not. Life Orb Noivern, which I should have definitely ran Tauntaun, but I decided to run Rooston instead, like a dumbass. And we've got a Draco, Hurricane, Flamethrower, and Roost on this thing. And then we've got a Flame Orb Heracross with Sub, Close Combat, Facade, and Megahorn. So looking at this matchup, I decided my best lead's probably just going to be the Zoroark, just in case he does decide to lead with the Uxie, so I am going to just lead right off with that. It says Empoleon is the lead, but it's actually the Zoroark, as yeah, not wanting to risk anything from the Tornadus because it is a Z user. I'm going to go right into Rotom. I thought that this was just a pretty fine play overall, so I'm going to go right into that, and he's going to go for the Z move, and it is all out pummeling, and that's going to do way too fucking much for me, so I'm just going to get right out of there. It's really unfortunate because now at that point, it kind of means that Rotom is almost crippled. The Focus Blast, it does miss. It would not have done much to Noivern anyways. I was not concerned about health on Noivern that much at all this battle, so that's totally fine with me. This turn I am just going to make a double out actually into my Empoleon, predicting the Primarina, and here is where I can just get up my Stealth Rocks and see how he wants to react to that, as I do get them up, so unless he's Defog Tornadus, they should be up the entire game. As I'm going to bring my Rotom here, expecting him to Stealth Rocks. Now, I did not think the Psychic would kill, but it turns out, bada boom, it does, so that's really shitty for me. I don't know if that was a roll or not, doesn't really matter too much anyways. He's going to go Empoleon here, or I'm going to go Empoleon, but it's actually Zoroark, and I'm going to go for Substitute, because I thought that maybe he'd expect this to be Zoroark, because I did take the Rocks damage for Zoroark, but yeah, that's fine. He does just U-turn anyways, so that's all totally like okay with me. As the Tornado's going to come in, I expect him to Hurricane here, not Focus Blast, because I am Zoroark, and I can definitely just go into my Noivern anyway, so I get that play right, which is really good. But unfortunately, I fucking revealed here that I am Scarfed Empoleon, so what I have to do is now I have to play really cautiously with my Passimian and make sure it doesn't take any damage, because if it does, then I'm basically just fucked versus the Linoon. As I'm going to see his Rocky Helmet on the Uxie as I go into my Noivern, and he's going to go for Memento, and I'm like, oh shit, why the fuck did I not run Taunt? Which was definitely a pretty dumb move, but luckily for me, I'm going to go for Hurricane, hoping to confuse maybe. I still have my Passimian that will live, but it would be much harder if this didn't happen. He goes for Play Rough, expecting me to be Taunt, which I thought was a good play on his part. Definitely a big fuck up on my part, but we'll take those any day of the week. As now Passimian's going to come in, and this is looking a lot better for me, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go for close combat, as the Primarina is going to come right in. This is looking like a very bulky Primarina from the damage that I do to it. Not very bulky, but decently bulky, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right out into my Empoleon and click Flash Cannon twice. Flash Cannon should not allow the Linoon to set up if it does decide that it wants to do that. Well, actually, it would have let it set up, but I wasn't going to let this thing be in a range where it was going to die to my Empoleon. If you wanted to go into something and sack it, I would not have let this thing stay in with the Flash Cannon versus that thing. Surf is my only, like, real move versus the Linoon that I feel comfortable with. And the reason I ran the Scarf Empoleon was mainly for the Linoon if it wanted to extreme speed me. No point in that anymore, if it's at +6. And, like, no point in me, like, trying to live a hit from this thing anyways, so, yeah, I'm not going to let this thing stay in with a Flash Cannon versus the Linoon, because the way the Linoon works, obviously, it just won't fucking function for me, because he will get his Figgy Berry anyways, no matter what, so, I'm just going to let the thing go down there. He is Assault Vest Primarina as I ran from these calcs, and now I'm going to go Heracross, and I'm just going to click Facade. If I click Close Combat, that would have been a humongous choke, because, from this range, I actually should be able to live in Aerial Ace from the from the Virizion. Only way I don't is if he's Life Orb or Banded. If he kills me, then, or Muscle Band, I guess, or Expert Belt, but I thought that maybe, I didn't know what he'd be, maybe Lumberry, which kind of doesn't make sense, actually. Maybe some type of, like, Resist Berry, maybe Flying or Kobe Berry. What the fuck am I saying? Yeah, Kobe Berry seems like a pretty likely bring for him. Anyways, he's getting Extreme Speed me here, as I did luckily live that Aerial Ace, so that was really good. I knew I would live that. I ran that calc, so yeah, that was ultimately fine for me with my HP investment. I had a very good shot at living. And now, at this point, it is looking like just a Passimian cleanup because his last mons are Steelix and the Linoon. Steelix is going to come in right here as I'm just going to click the Close Combat once, and if he kills me with Heavy Slam, that's totally fine. I can just go Zoroark, but he doesn't because this Passimian is decently bulky. And, yep, we're going to go for Close Combat there. So, yep, we're going to advance on to the next round. So, very good game to CJ. Definitely really close. A lot closer than I wanted it to be. It was definitely a pretty rough matchup for me. I definitely kind of fucked up this round in terms of my drops. Next round, I do intend to make some better drops, though. So, be on the lookout for that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys later. Peace.